Right, how you doing, people? Thought I would come up on Dartmoor and head to this place. Cherrybrook Wood, I'm guessing it's called. I'll put a map up here somewhere of where I am. It is, if you head, you've got the main road that goes over Dartmoor from sort of Buckfastleigh over to Tavistock, and this is a road that goes off it, heading to, I can't bloody remember now, Postbridge. So you've got the main road that goes over Dartmoor, and then you've got a road that goes off that towards Postbridge. This is just before Postbridge on the right hand side. Last few weeks I've been running around in sandals and shorts, which has been lush, but it always happens to me. I get a day off and the weather turns to crud. So I'm heading into this woodland here. It's not far to walk. I think it's only a couple hundred metres into the wood. Just see if I can find some compositions and find some pictures. See you in there. Cool. Right, people, I'm in the wood. It's changed a bit. Far to one side of it has just all been felled, clear felled. Loads of little baby, self-seeding baby ones all over the place. Look. I'm not entirely sure what I'm coming up here to shoot. I just thought I'd just head for somewhere different, really. I knew the weather was going to be a little bit moody up here, a bit misty, so I was hoping I'd get sort of misty woodlands, something like that. And you never know, walking around these woodlands, I might find some deer walking about. I don't know if you've ever seen the film Dog Soldiers. Ever seen it? This reminds me of it. If you've never seen it, you've got to watch it. Dog Soldiers with Sean Pertwee. Funny film, so funny. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have a little walk about, see if I can find a composition. My eyesight is so bad. What the hell is that? I don't know if that's a deer or not. I'm hoping that's a deer. If it is, I'm gonna get my 70 to 200 mil on. Right, hang tight, I'm gonna have a walk about. It's probably not a deer, my eyesight's crap. But I'm gonna have a walk about, see what I can find. Right, I found the deer. It's a tree stump. That's what happens when you get old and you're desperate to find shots. You confuse tree stumps with deers. Unbelievable. Right, I'm gonna have a walk about and see if I can find a composition. So I'm obviously not gonna photograph a deer or a tree stump. I've been walking around for about an hour now. Can't find diddly squat. I know what's happening. People, viewers out there, if there's any of you out there that are in towns and cities and don't really get out to woodlands much, I bet you're going, there's bloody compositions everywhere. Which, yeah, there probably is. But I suppose when you live in it and see it all the time, which I'm very grateful of, I just can't find it. Although saying that, I've shot loads in woodlands, so I am trying to look for something a little bit different. One of my favourite shots of mine, which I've taken in the woodland actually, is a little track where the old, when they used to take the timber out, the tractor would leave a track, and looking down through the woodland, the track would now be full up with water, and that'd be a nice leading line to the woodland. If I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen now. It's taken a few years back now, but I'm trying to find something different. The only other shot I was thinking of, like I said earlier on, because this woodland, a lot of it's been clear felled, is a shot two sides. One side clear felled woodland, and the other side nice woodland, or unclear felled woodland, so woodland clear felled, smack right down the middle. That might be quite a cool shot if I can get to the edge of the woodland and see if there's a composition like that. Failing that, I wanted to stay inside the woodlands and stay dry, but that ain't happening. So that's my thoughts. I haven't seen any deer, mind you. I'm so heavy underfoot they could probably hear me 20 miles away. It's a good thing about the little gorilla pod. I'll put up on the screen here where you're videoing from. Up and out the way, liking that, looks like. Yeah, go for that. Is he straight? Straightish, that'll do. Right, people, after walking around for about an hour and a half, I think I've got a composition. You know, I said earlier on about a line down the middle of the shot. I haven't even got my camera out my bag yet, so I may be talking a load of nonsense here, but you know, I said earlier on about a line down the scene. It's kind of devastation and felled woodland to the right, and then on the left, kind of a nice woodland that hasn't been touched. Well, kind of like that here. This side, they've done loads of felling, and this side, the woodland hasn't been touched. But to kind of split the scene in half, I've got this war. So I've got natural, man-made, devastation, war, natural, kind of a mix of nature and man, which I think is quite cool. So I'm kind of thinking a nice wide shot, that side. There's trees here, but it kind of thins out the further you go out, which would be quite nice, and they'll kind of be silhouetted because the sky's just miserable out there. And then we'll have the wall in the middle split into two, and the fallen tree that's gone through the wall, and then the nice woodland over there that hasn't been touched yet. That's me thinking. Thinner on the left, trees falling on the wall, leading line from the wall, nice woodland on the right. So I'm going to get my camera out. In fact, what I normally do before I get my camera out and bag is I walk around with my phone and see if I can find any compositions with this. I kind of like, yeah, it's not really wide enough, but sometimes it gives me an idea of what's about. I like that. There's two trees there leaning. I'm going to have to get my wide angle out because I would like those two leaning trees there. And because of the way the trees are growing on the right hand side, there's like a bit of an arc, so there's a bit of an eye. Oh, that wall looks lush. Fallen trees. Trying to get the right balance of devastation over there and nice over there, because I've got this fallen tree. It's kind of eating into that side of the scene a little bit much, really. Might be a panoramic, because I want all that out there. And I also want all that in there, but I also want this wall. Yeah, because I'm shooting a panoramic and it's going from quite bright to quite dark. Because I'm handheld shooting, hundredths of a second. I know this is 40mm wide, but hundredths of a second, and I know I'll get no camera shake or anything like that. And then all I do, I'll set my aperture, probably, see if I can go mind f8, because f8 I know is quite sharp on there. I can pull the shadows out of that lot. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, just watching my histogram, bright on the right because of the bright sky, but mainly I just want to come around here to the shadows and make sure it's not burning up too much. But that's cool, because I don't mind if it goes dark in between the trees as it falls off. And then all I want to do, my point of focus on this wall in the foreground, put it onto manual focus. Everything's purple. Like I say, I've got my focus peaking on just to double check sometimes. And I'm going to go $18 shots. Right, I don't know how that's going to come out. Get that back and get him stitched, but what I really wanted to get it nice and wide so you could see how thin it is over there, and as it comes round, tree falling through the wall, and then how thick it gets over here, how dense. f8, hundredths of a second, ISO 320, because it's quite dark in here. I was focused basically when I was framing it up. I was framing it up as a single shot and focusing where I normally would, and then flipping it into manual focus. So if that shot's any good, here it is. Might just get a couple more shots, stand out, no stitches or anything. Problem is, it's difficult because you're in a woodland here, you just want everything in the frame. Sometimes you just got to stand back and go, I only want that much, I don't want all that, I just want a bit. I've just come back a bit from that last shot, but I like the leading line of this wall. Make sure my lens is nice and clean. Again, look at me with no flipping tripod, but this may be because I've used the denoise in Lightroom, the new denoise. Oh, unbelievable that is. Right, quite like this lead-in wall, just looking right down. That just looks well cool. Really, really like that. God, these cameras are so sharp, it's unbelievable. I think I prefer that one to that one. Yeah, closer to the wall I quite like. Normally I think sometimes if that's my leading line, sometimes it's better to stand further away because you can see more of the leading line. But I think in these two particular shots, because I can see the top, I think that works quite well. Always go with your instinct. Look, I've just taken 1, 2, 3, 4 shots of that composition, and my first one's a favourite. Yeah, I quite like that. might be quite nice. Right people, I think that's about it. I think I've got some good shots there. You'll know because I haven't seen them yet. Cheers for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope the pictures were nice. It's Friday, have a great weekend. I don't know what Friday I'm going to get this out on, but cheers for watching, cheers for subscribing people, I really appreciate it, and hit that like button, hit that share button, really appreciate it, it's cool, ideal. See you next week. Cool, cheers, bye. Like a ninja.